All right. Friends and family, thank you guys so much for watching Every Day is a Saturday with your host, me, myself, and I, Brian Roof. Hey guys, another great episode, another great interview. I'm super excited to introduce this guy. He is an inspirational gentleman who served his country proud in the United States Army as 11 Bravo, aka Infantryman. While on deployment to Afghanistan in 2011, he faced death in the eyes, being shot 10 times, but he decided that life wasn't going to be over for him. After years of recovery, he picked up a guitar and has become a music songwriter with an amazing voice. Let's meet a real hero to America, Scotty Hasting.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, brother, man? I am super excited to have you on.
So happy to be here, man. Thanks for that introduction. That was nice.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's not too often. I'm super excited, for the Army, but Scotty Hasting, man, you are a true hero, bro. And, reading about you and your stories, uh, you are what I define as a hero. I don't look at anybody but the ones that put on the camouflage and go, fight this great nation. But I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So let's get to know about Scotty. You know what made you join the Army? Tell us about the Army and kind
Yeah,
of give us
yeah.
your story, man.
So I grew up in northern Kentucky, right outside of Cincinnati. And the military was always something that I'd wanted to do. I was doing other things at the time. I was actually playing with a semi-pro baseball league at the time and wasn't making any money doing it. And I decided one day that I wanted to do something. I was like 22 years old, so I was old going into the military, which is crazy to think. But um, I had one day decided that this calling that I felt, was, calling to me for the longest time. It was time to do something about it. And I did. Went in the recruiters, area, and I basically told them that I wanted to join and that I wanted to be infantry. And they tried to talk about all this other stuff, like you can do this and you can do that. And I said no. I said honestly, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna be infantry. So that's kind of where it went, where it started, and then went to basic training at Fort Benning, of course, home of the infantry, and then God, what after I graduated, 3 to 4 weeks after I graduated, I was boots on the ground in Afghanistan. So,
Wow.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not too often too that when you joined, we were already in conflict and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah, we
you
were already in
definitely
Afghanistan.
knew there was just definitely knew there
Mhm.
was a chance of you getting deployed when you signed
Absolutely,
up, huh? So
absolutely.
you were ready for that, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I knew that it was a part of it, but I knew that to me, in my eyes, no offense to everyone else, but in my eyes, a soldier is someone who fights. That's what I grew up. That's how I grew up. Like that's that was my understanding of what a soldier was, and I wanted to be that. So in my eyes, there wasn't any other choice but to go and fight, and that's what I wanted to do. That's what I felt like I had to do.
Hey, much respect, man. And
Yeah.
so, kind of uh, tell us about your Army career and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
your
So
experiences.
I mean, my army career was, I I miss the army, man. I thought the army was great. But went to Afghanistan after graduating basic with 4 Cav out of the First Infantry Division out of Fort Riley, Kansas. Um, I was an infantryman that got deployed to Cav Scouts, which was a whole new thing. I got to play with a lot of cool stuff, a lot of stuff that went boom, which was cool. But yeah, for almost 4 months into the deployment is when we were on patrol and walked up to a guy and who was hiding behind a wall and had a rifle behind his back, and he shot me a bunch. He was maybe 10 yards from me, so I felt the rifle blast, everything. It was 10 shots total, but it basically went up the left side of my body. So it hit my left thigh, took a giant chunk out of my left hip, and then went across my body to my right shoulder. And I have a really big exit wound coming out of my back where all of the rounds came out at once.
Shit. Wow.
That was a rough day. Very, very rough
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I checked it out on YouTube and I saw
Yeah.
your picture diagram of it.
Yeah, I have. If you want to definitely hear more about it, you can definitely go to YouTube. I drew out a whole diagram and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely go check out that YouTube. It's very in detailed.
Yeah.
So after that, man, what was next for you? What ended up happening?
Yeah. So after that, got of course got medevac to Kandahar, Kandahar Airfield, where they started working on the trauma stuff and really making sure I didn't die, basically. So after I got shot, I had lost so much blood that actually my eyesight shut down. I couldn't see anything. And my understanding of it is, or what I think it was like that idea of like seeing the light, what people talk about, because your body loses so much blood that your eyesight shuts down and different parts of your body shut down to make sure that the important stuff, your brain and your heart, still live. And my eyesight was one of those things, and it was just white. And so when I got to Kandahar Airfield, they immediately hooked me up to blood and started like siphoning blood into me. And slowly my eyesight started coming back. It was the craziest thing ever. And then when at some point I had told them that I was able to see again. Like I was starting to be able to see again. And then I heard a nurse basically bend over and whisper to me that it's okay for me to go to sleep. And within a second, I was passed out. I was awake from the moment that I got shot until that moment, just fighting to stay awake because I knew if I went to sleep, there was a good chance I wasn't going to come back. So I basically just fought to try to stay awake and talk to my guys and talk to the air medics and just basically talk to people to try to stay awake the whole time until that moment when that nurse leaned down and said that it was okay for me to go to sleep. And then I just passed out. I don't know that woman. I don't know who she is. But she, was amazing.
Comforted you basically at that point.
Yeah, 100%. It was that
Wow.
moment where like I was able to just kind of release, because there was, after getting shot, it would have been so much easier for me to just give up. I mean, the idea and the thought of death is at that moment, it was super peaceful for me. It's amazing how like when you're on the brink, like you're right there, how peaceful it is to just drift off. Like how much easier and how much more peaceful it would have been if I would have just let it go. It was a hell of a fight just to not do that. And when she said that, it was like this just release of all of that at that moment, and it was incredible.
You could legit feel yourself fighting, huh? I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it was
wow.
it was the craziest feeling ever because I was literally fighting for my life to stay alert. Because I remember in my head thinking about how much easier it would have been, how much easier it would be just to give up, and how much more peaceful it would have felt to just give up. But yeah.
But you're not, man. And so,
No.
what did it take for you to recover and,
Yeah, I mean,
give us the
I
road to
don't think
recovery?
I'm too hard headed to give up. I guess that's what it was. But no, I'm still not fully recovered. I still
Right.
have nerve damage
Yeah.
in my right hand and arm, and I still am missing chunks of my body that are in Afghanistan somewhere probably. And my girlfriend always jokes that some dog probably came by, one of those damn Waddy monsters came by and just grabbed it and ate it. But I know, but It's so true though, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I feel like every day still, even after that day, that was April 21st, 2011. And I feel like still to this day, I'm still working to, you know, get better. Not only physically, but also, mentally. And a lot of it is mental now. I did a lot of fighting at Walter Reed, with learning how to walk again and learning how to use my left hand instead of my right hand, because I was right-handed and now I have to use my left hand. Um, and then just learning how to like be able to lift my shoulder up to like here. That wasn't something I could do. Um, and learning how to operate with my fingers the way that they are, that I can't straighten them all the way and I have limited movement and I can't feel what I'm touching, things like that. Just learning how to live everyday life like that, is a fight and a struggle. And there's still things where I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think about not being able to do that. And then kind of like trying to find a way to adapt to it and, making it a new way of doing it if I have to. But yeah, I feel like, every day just comes with a little bit of challenge, no matter what I'm doing. And I've become really, really well, really good at adapting to situations and, having to do things a little bit differently, but still getting the job done. Which, yeah, is kind of like the motto of my life.
Adapt and overcome. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. And but a lot of it now is, mental. A lot of people who've been to war understand exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done physically, but the mental healing, I don't think ever stops. Like it's always,
there's no
it's
switch.
it's something that always has to be done. You always have to be working on it. So yeah, I don't think, that I think every day is still a fight. So
Well, at least you're here to talk about it, man. And
100%.
and I know talking about it isn't always easy, but it
Yeah.
does make things easier sometimes.
100%. And that's something that I found, especially being in the limelight where I'm at now and being able to, share my story with what I do and being in the eyes of the public and playing music that, is from my heart and being vulnerable on a stage or being vulnerable in a video or stuff like that. Like, I feel like, it's kind of cathartic for me. It really showed me that, being able to talk and being able to, open up, and it really showed me how much it can actually help. Because it helps me, like podcasts where I can sit down and talk about it and talk about the struggles that I deal with on a daily basis. I mean, that helps me. So if it helps me, I can guarantee that it helps other people. I just want, if there's anything that any of your listeners take from today, it's that it needs to be that if you find someone that you can talk to, do it, because you will find so much healing in it. And I know it sucks sometimes to get in the fields, and I know sometimes it's not something you want to do, but it's important. So
I agree. And I've learned a lot opening myself up to podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, disconnected, I think, from the veteran community for a while.
Yeah.
Just kind of remove myself from everything, even my own family members, just kind of disconnected in general.
Yeah.
I do find myself now starting to, reconnect and trying to get myself, back into it. And man, my wife, she's like, you just seem happier lately.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm do find, a connection talking to others that have experience or go through it, and just being able to, normalize us being able to talk about it and say, yeah, man, we struggle,
True.
We might be some war fighters, but we have feelings, we have thoughts, we have memories.
Yep. We're not robots, man.
No, and there's no off switch, for some of this. I wish there was,
Absolutely.
I tell my, whenever I got to go see the psych or something, just like, I wish there was a button just to kind of turn it off times, but there's no switch.
Absolutely.
But let's talk more about that recovery for you, man, and how you end up finding yourself. I know that you did get into archery as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and that was kind of a big healing thing for you, I believe,
Very true.
a
Yeah.
stepping stone. So let's kind of talk more
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. So I did get into archery. It was when I got injured, the Army was really pushing for adaptive sports. And growing up playing sports, and before I joined the military, I was actually playing for a semi-pro baseball organization. And I grew up playing sports. That's where my love was. That's where my passion was sports. And they brought this idea of adaptive sports to me, and I said, absolutely, let's do it. They gave me a list of different things that I could do, and a lot of things were fun and a good time. Like sitting volleyball is a great time. Stuff like that. Wheelchair basketball, anything that has to do with wheelchairs in my hand is sketchy. So I've got my hand stuck in a spike in one of the spokes once, and I was like, never again. Like I almost lost a damn finger, never getting in a damn wheelchair again. And but archery was one, and I was like, sure, why not? Went out and tried archery for the first time. I'm naturally right-handed, so I said, well, I'm right-handed. The guy asked me what hand I am. I said, I'm right-handed. So I went to shoot right-handed, and because I can't feel this hand, I couldn't feel that my finger was on the trigger. So I shot like 3 arrows into the ceiling, and then the guy who was running it was like, you need to stop. Like you're a liability at this point. Like, stop it. But again, I'm way too freaking hard-headed to take no and to give up. So I decided that I wanted to do it, but I wanted to switch to left-handed because this hand doesn't really do anything. I could probably wrap something around my hand and around the bow, and I could shoot left-handed. And the instructor was like, yeah, Jesse White was the instructor. He's still a good friend of mine now. And he said, sure, let's give it a shot. So we did. And it worked really well. I started getting better and better at archery, and eventually competed for the Army team at the Warrior Games. And I got recruited by the U.S. Paralympic Committee while I was there. And after that, I started shooting with the U.S. Paralympic program. Started traveling all over the country and shooting, and got better and better, and won more tournaments, and made money doing it. And I did that up until COVID. Hit, and then when COVID hit, everything shut down. Archery shut down, everything. The thing that I loved about archery was that for those 7 seconds that I was at full draw, getting ready to fire the shot, nothing else in the world mattered. All the depression, all the PTSD, all the crap that I deal with on a daily basis was gone. I found an escape in archery. And camaraderie, of course, with the Paralympic, the other pairs as well, because most of them are veterans also, and we've all become super close knit and really good friends. But a lot of it was that escape, that I was able to find in archery. But when COVID hit, that escape was gone. Right? It was just the quiet that I was surrounded by, and it was, and being surrounded by the quiet and by yourself is terrible as a veteran, because that's when the demon's not the loudest. When it's the quietest around you, that's when up here is the loudest. And I needed something to get out of my mind, to get out of my head. And I luckily had a guitar sitting in the corner of my room.
Just a couple.
So I had this guitar sitting in the corner of my room. This is a Sandner guitar. It was sent to me while I was at Walter Reed because I was like, I want to learn how to play guitar. Something I've always wanted to do. And when I got it while I was at Walter Reed, I was too hurt in my hand. Physically, I wasn't there. I wasn't there to be able to think that I could even do it. There was too much self-doubt at that time to be able to even fathom the fact that I'd be able to play guitar. So I pushed it off and I pushed it away, and I had this thing sitting in the corner of my room for forever, ever since that moment. ever since I got it while I was a Walter Reed. And I decided one day while I was, battling my demons that I was gonna learn how to play that guitar. So I jumped on YouTube and I deep dove into learning how to play. I learned, the basic cowboy chords first, G, C, E minor, and D, which worked great because I'm a country guy and I've grown up listening to country, and that's all I wanted to do. So I deep dove into it. I found a new release and a new escape in learning how to play guitar. And then I wanted to get better and better because this was something that I found that I enjoyed, that was challenging and something that would get me out of my own head. So I learned how to use a capo, and I learned how other new chords and all these other different chords and different strumming patterns and stuff like that. And then I started learning how to play songs that I grew up listening to because I already knew how they were supposed to sound. And it took a while to get some of them to sound the way they were supposed to sound, but I got there eventually.
I did listen to some of those on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah. And I had, what's funny is those ones that are on YouTube, that was like
2 years ago.
That was that was a while ago. And
2 years ago.
I play those same songs now, and they're completely different. They're so much better. But yeah, you can kind of see like the, where I came from to where if you come to a live show and you hear that same song, you're like, holy shit, like it's so much better. Because it's just, those videos on YouTube, I probably learned that song like a week before, and I wanted to just post it and show that I could do this. And repetition. Yeah. That's really all it is, man. Once you learn the basic idea and basic fundamental of what you're trying to do, it's really repetition to really, perfect it. So yeah, I was like, man, I want to do something with this, right? Like I have these songs that I've learned. Like I have, this guitar. Like I got a different guitar, which is over here somewhere. I got a different guitar that now plugs into a PA system. So now I can go play it like bars and stuff. Like I want to go give this a shot and let's see what happens. Like, why not? At this point, what do I have to lose? So I went, Nashville was still shut down in COVID, and but the outskirts of Nashville was very much alive still. Nashville shut down, and the rest of outside of Nashville said, well, hell yeah, we'll take your business. So there were plenty of places to play. Yeah. So I went to an open mic night one Thursday out in Cookeville, Tennessee at Red Silo Brewing Company. And I played one song and I was freaking hooked, man. Like that escape that I had found in archery was magnified while I was on stage. And I knew from that very first song that I played, I knew at that moment that this was what I wanted to do forever. It has been going great. I play all the time now. So I knew that once I made the decision that music was what I wanted to do, that I knew that this escape that I had found was, like a drug almost, and I knew I wanted to pursue it more, and I knew I wanted to play as much as possible. So as soon as Nashville opened up, I started reaching out to people, and I made sure to reach out to them as soon as possible, because I knew with COVID happening, like a lot of people would kind of fall off, and these bars would be struggling for people again, trying to find people and trying to make sure that they can get in and play and stuff. So I just started blasting all these bars downtown, man. I was like, I want to play here and I want to play here. I would love to play blah, 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 blah. 3-hour, 4-hour shows. I started playing downtown. I started building, and I just started building more and more and more and more. And it's I wanted to play as much as possible. So, I wanted to play 4-hour shows, because for those 4 hours that I'm on stage, nothing else in the world matters. That 7-second escape that I found was now a 4-hour escape that I found when I was on stage. And I live for that. I still do. I love being on stage.
Man. 4 hours.
Yeah, I love being on stage. I love interacting with the people.
Yeah.
And I love escaping from all my crap that's upstairs, and And yeah, I mean, that has fed the fire, to want to continue to pursue this and to get, bigger and bigger and try to, eventually play stadiums and, really just, why not? At
Oh
this
yeah.
point in life, man, like life's too short to, just to sit here and, not try to just do something great.
Bro,
I
I
mean,
honestly, I mean, not only my hopes, but I do know one day you're gonna be selling out
man, I
big
appreciate
time.
that. That
I
that would that
mean,
would be amazing.
I think you'll get there, brother. I mean, you
That would
keep
be
going
amazing. And,
and you
and
keep
I
pushing
don't
it.
and I don't want to just do it, for me for selfish reasons. I mean, I really do because I enjoy it. But I feel like my story, along with, someone watching me play with my hand the way it is and how I have to strap a pick to my thumb just to be able to play because of the nerve damage. Um, I think, if someone's seeing that, whether it be a veteran or someone else, someone with a disability or someone who's just feeling down about themselves, someone seeing me up there on stage, hopefully it motivates them to want to be like, well, shit, man, if this guy can do this, like, what's stopping me, and hopefully that, I'm able to kind of, help that person, push through and do what they love to do or do what they want to do, um, because at the end of the day, why not, man? What do you
Well,
have to lose?
yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, what I find amazing about this whole thing is that you learned being already injured and
Yeah,
hurt, and so there's not a lot of people that can teach you,
yeah,
as with a person that has a handicap or has an issue. There's not a lot of people out there. There are already, people that know how to
yeah,
play, but they don't know how to tell you how to play when you have a disability.
absolutely.
So I mean, that's kind of
Absolutely. And
amazing
that
within
was that
itself.
was definitely one hurdle that I, had to, came across was this idea of, that I'm already injured. So the way that I strum or the way that I do things is going to be a little bit different anyhow. So when I watch a video or something and I'm trying to learn a song, it's gonna have to I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit. And now, the label that I'm in works and, talks with, and the songwriters that I work with, and my good friend Doug Johnson, who's the head A&R guy with our label, but he's also my mentor. When we write a song or we do something, they know that to give me a little bit of time with the song to learn it so that I can tweak it the way that I need to tweak it with the way that my hand moves, because my hand moves completely different than the way that his does when he's playing the song for me.
Right.
So it's funny, like we'll go write a song and then Doug will play it and I'll take video of him while he's playing it so that I can take it back to my house and I can work on the song and like change it the way that I need to change it so that the way that I play it'll be, kind of easier for me to figure out how to play it. So yeah, it's cool to have, that support system that surrounds you, that understands, or that, wants to help, so
Well,
yeah.
let's go ahead and listen with the permission of you, brother.
Yeah,
Let's listen to Truck It real quick, and let's let everybody hear how you sound. See if I get hit with good old
copyright claim.
oh yeah.
Yeah, who
Let's
knows?
see what happens. Oh good. Want to be the first. Here we go. The song's called Truck It.
How do you haul some 2x4s to mend the fence after a storm? Get a day's worth of hay where the cattle graze. Some red dirt on the floorboards, you truck it.
You're muted.
is a really good jam. You guys got to go check him out for sure. He has some great music. Let me show you guys where you can go find his music and stuff like that. Right below.
Yeah,
And
there we
that
go.
pretty much links them to all your social media too, right?
Yeah. So that you'll find all my social media there. I also have a link tree on most of my social media that you can click, and it'll take you to all my social media, my songs that are out. It'll also take you to that video that I have on YouTube where I drew the diagram of me, the day that I got shot and all that stuff, and really explain more in detail about that. So yeah.
And I did see you have like a link tree and all that stuff too. So it's
Yeah.
another way people can find you out. You all you gotta basically do is put in Scotty Hasting music, and you'll see a lot of stuff comes up.
Yeah,
But,
just jump on Google and put in Scotty Hasting music. Then you'll get some stuff.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely.
So like, let's talk more about like stage life, man, and how that life
Yeah.
goes, and have you had to travel and kind of talk some?
Yeah.
About,
So
like,
I
your shows and stuff?
travel. I travel a lot, actually, and play. I do a lot of veteran organization stuff, which is kind of where my heart is. Going there and sharing my story and sharing my songs. I have a song called, The Stories That They Tell, which is a veteran-based song. I have a song called How Do You Choose, which for me is a song about my best friend that was killed in Afghanistan, but it could also be for, anyone who's lost somebody unexpectedly, which, for this COVID crap that just happened, could, hit a lot of people. I want to go and I want to share my story and I want to share my songs and I want people to be able to connect with it. And at the end of the day, that's what it matters. Like I've been traveling a lot and I've been going to the studio a lot, and I have like 8 songs right now that we're working on that are going to be released sometime this year. I have a song coming out with Lee Brice and Dolly Parton. I have a song that I'm working on with Jamie Johnson right now. But yeah, every single one of the songs that we're working on and that we're going to be releasing are songs that I connect with. So most of them are songs that I've written. So they're songs from my heart. But even the ones that are pitched to me that I hear that I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. Definitely want to do that song, or songs that hit me and that I fall in love with. If I don't love the song, I'm not going to record it. If I don't feel like that song is a part of my story or part of who I am, I'm not going to record it. So we have some songs that I didn't write that are going to be coming out, but they're songs that I absolutely connect with, and songs that are a part of me without being from me. But yeah, been, travel a lot, been working in the studio a lot. I actually just opened not long ago, like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, for Tanya Tucker and Jelly Roll at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, Texas. And then around Super Bowl time, I did a private show, the private show for Corona, or I'm sorry, not Corona, Jesus, Crown Royal. I'm there goes. That's my last time being able to do it. There you go. But yeah, so I did a private show with Crown Royal, where I got to open. I did a private show at Crown Royal where I got to open for the Foo Fighters head lead singer, Dave. Why can't I remember it?
Oh my gosh, I can't either right now.
Right? Dave Grohl. There we go. Golly. So I got to open for Dave Grohl, which, I mean, he is the epitome of a rock star. He is one of the greatest to ever do it. And he was such an amazing person. And the cool part about opening for him was that normally, like, the openers, get like, 15 minutes or whatever, and then the main headline gets like an hour, and then that's how most concerts are. Whatever, or the opener gets 15 minutes, the headliner gets 30 minutes, whatever. The cool thing about Dave was that he didn't want to play more songs than me. He wanted us to be even. So I played 4 songs and he played 4 songs. And it was so cool. Like just the respect that he gave me, some random guy who's just getting into this industry, and just from him like knowing who I was and him, hearing my story and stuff like that, because he basically picked me to come out there and play. Yeah, it was just really cool. It was really, really cool, the respect that he gave. I mean, with someone that's like at that, at his legendary status, to be able to look at someone just now coming up and be like, I don't want to outdo him in any way. Like, I want to be even with him, and we're going to do this together. And it was really, really cool.
He sounds very humble. I mean,
oh man, he's such a great dude. Such a great dude. And the craziest part is, like, I got done playing my set, and they took like a little break to go, to get everything ready for Dave. And I went back into the green room, and Dave was just hanging out there with his guitar on his shoulders, with a cigarette in his mouth. He's like, "What's up, dude?" And I was like, "What's up, man? Like, what is this, man?" I've been so incredibly blessed. And I try not to take it for granted, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, there's so much about my life that I'm like, what the hell is happening? I've got to play shows with Dave Mustaine and Scott Stapp from Creed. I've got to play. I was at the hospital. One of my really good friends, mentor, had a cardiac episode. I went to the hospital to hang out with him, make sure he was okay. And in walks Lee Bryce with a guitar, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to hear this new song?" We're like, what? I was like, and that's like one of those moments where you're just like, what is my life? Like, what? Dang. Like, I'm hanging out in the hospital, and Lee Bryce just walks in like, "You guys want to hear this song?" Like, what? Like, what the hell? And even it's funny, like, I'll start telling stories to my girlfriend, and she's like, "What? Your life is wild." Like, what? Like, it's just so crazy. Like, Jared Neiman and Lee Bryce walk into the hospital room, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna play some songs for you guys." I'm like, okay, like, what? Okay, all right,
go ahead.
Yeah, and this was, and it was cool. It's really cool. Also,
you take requests.
Honestly, like, I was like, what? Like, what the hell is happening? Sure, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna listen. Cool. But yeah, it's incredible, man. It's an amazing ride that I'm on. And I've just been blessed beyond words, man, beyond comprehension, really. There's just so much that I've been able to do that I never thought in a million years I'd be able to. I mean, number one, I never thought that I would be singing for a living. I never thought this was going to be a career that I'd be able to do. But also, like, I never thought that I would ever have a song with Dolly Parton. And I do, which is that. I mean,
you're getting in touch with some real legends, man. I mean, my gosh.
I mean, it's incredible. Like, I mean, especially Dolly. Like, Dolly's just on that pedestal, like, so much higher than just an artist or just a celebrity or just an entertainer. Like, she is so much higher than that. Just because everyone knows who she is, everyone loves her. No one can ever find anything bad to say about her. She's beyond her star is beyond who she is. And she's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could ever find words, man. It's so incredible. It's such an amazing ride that I'm on, and I'm so blessed to be here. Absolutely.
So I know, I get on this subject a little bit is mental health. I know people that struggle with mental health, they tend to keep themselves busy.
Yes.
Because they don't want to find that time to have to deal with things. Now, I know that there's, 24 hours in a day. It's hard to keep busy for 24 hours in a day.
Very true.
When you do find yourself in those spots, man, what do you do to get yourself kind of out of that headspace? Do you have anything in particular you do, or?
Yeah, pick up a guitar, write a song, sing a song, call up a buddy, go play some golf, just do something. Talk to somebody. I'm like I said, I'm incredibly blessed in the fact that I have an amazing support system, not only with my family but with my friends also. You know, me and my friends have the understanding that if any of us are struggling, make a phone call, and it's really cool. You know, I got some really good friends that are prior service. I have some really good friends that aren't. That if I'm like, hey man, like I want to get out for a second, like I want to go do something, like I want to go play some golf, I want to go, you know, go to the studio, like let's write a song, something. I want to do something. I need to get it out of my head. Let's go do something. And they're incredibly understanding, and they're like, absolutely, man, let's do it. And but yeah, you know, and then I have those friends that I'm like, hey man, I need to figure something out, and they're like, all right, man, Call of Duty, jump on right now. We're on. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, or
Hell
it's like,
yeah.
you know, and it's really cool, you know, to have. And I think it's important to surround yourself with people that support you and that love you and people that can help you. And I mean help as in like someone you can just talk to. And I don't mean like your drug dealer. Like
Right.
that's not it. Like people who genuinely care. Um, you know, finding friends, finding there's plenty of groups out there that are willing to, you know, help out or have, you know, veteran organizations and veteran groups that are willing to listen. And I mean, I think it's incredibly important to have those people in that support system. So yeah, I do. And when I'm not surrounded by them, I'm usually surrounded by my kids. So it works out pretty well.
Yeah, man. It's amazing what you're doing, and I'm
Thank you.
glad that you found an outlet for yourself, kind of too, to
Yeah.
to heal, man. And
Yeah.
you're now not just someone who, and it's always a healing process, you know.
Hmm.
And I know that no matter what, it's gonna be a healing process until we all go, man. But you
Absolutely.
know, as you begin to get past a certain point, you become not only a healer but an advocate and someone who
Yeah.
can start being that person to say, "Hey, man, I've been down in that fucking
Yeah.
in that
Absolutely.
valley where the darkness is deep, and
Absolutely.
these are ways I've been able to get through it,
Hmm.
and here's some things, and I'm still here, bro." And
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
the
And
main thing
and
is,
that's kind of what I want to do with this, you know, with this career that I've been able to find. And it is, you know, not only, you know, have a good time playing music because I enjoy every second of it, but also, you know, being able to show people and being able to, you know, like we talked about, like being able to show them that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's okay to talk, that it's okay to reach out to people, man. And, you know, let them, you know, hopefully they'll see me, you know, on TV or on a stage and be like, man, if he can be vulnerable or if he can do this, like, why can I not? You know, that whole idea of leading by example is kind of what I want to do. You know, because in the military, I find the best leaders led by example, and I want to try to be that because I'm definitely not the first combat wounded artist that's ever gone into stuff, but I'm damn sure going to be the first one that everyone's going to know is combat wounded. That has gone through shit and continues to go through shit and will always go through shit. Um, and I'll be open about it and I'll be accessible. And I don't ever want to feel disconnected from people if they need me, you know, if they want to talk, if they have something they want to say. You can ask anybody who's followed me from the beginning of this crazy ass musical journey that I'm on. I've always been super accessible, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. If you reach out to me, unless it's something crazy, I promise you I will. Like if it's a nudie pic, I'm probably just gonna delete it. But if it's something legitimate, I will answer back. I see every message that comes through. So if it's like I said, if someone's struggling or if they just want to talk, man, I'm there to message back and forth, man, because that's, you know, at the end of the day, like we struggle, we do. I mean,
and it's legit truth, guys. I reached out to Scotty, and he responded back. You know what I mean?
100%.
And
I mean, there's times when I'll go live on TikTok and just kind of sit there and hang out, and just answer questions or just, shoot the shit with the people that are on TikTok with me. And it's at the end of the day, as an artist, also, along with being a veteran and wanting to be accessible, but as an artist also, we have to understand that we get nowhere without the people listening to our stuff and wanting to be a part of this. So the best way for me to make people feel like they're a part of this journey, which they are, is for me to be there, for me to jump on live and hang out and just talk. And for me to make people feel like they're a part of the journey, because they are, because every single person who listens to my stuff has now become a part of all of this community that we're doing. I try to make people understand that and feel that. So.
Yeah, well, I want you to know too, bro. I'm another person that you could always reach out to and talk to, Scotty.
Absolutely,
man. I'm always here to listen, as well. So just know that there's another person in your phone book
for sure
that you can reach out to, brother. You're a good guy, man.
Thank you, man.
I love what you're doing, and I'm a huge fan. So, are you going to be a part of Hero Stock at some point?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be out there. Jason reached out to me and he was like, "Man, could you please?" I was like, "Absolutely, man." If there's a veteran organization that wants me to play music, I try to make it happen. I love playing music for veteran organizations. Sometimes for free. Of course, free doesn't pay the bills. I got 4 kids I got to support. But
I got you there.
If there's a chance for me to get out there and play at a veteran organization, that's what I want to do, man. That's where I thrive. I love interacting with other veterans. I love playing my music for other veterans. I love how rowdy veterans can get like that. It's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, absolutely. As soon as he came to me and he was like, "You want to play this, like this hero stuff?" And he gave me more information. I was like, "Absolutely, man. Let's do it." So yes,
honestly, it's going to be that one place in the year where everybody's going to want to go. I'm all the way out here in California, and I told the wife, I said, "Babe, September 9th, we're definitely going to have our plans."
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun, man.
If we even fly down there for over fucking night, we'll just do a turnaround flight. It's something I really want to do.
It's going to be so much fun. And the crazy part is I'm going there and I'm playing that. And then I'm flying from there to New Jersey because I'm playing another veteran organization that next day. So absolutely, man.
That life of an artist, man.
Looking forward to it, man. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh gosh, it sounds like a blast. Like the cornhole tournament, music, food. I mean, just the camaraderie. I'm looking forward to it too. I had Jason on the show, and man, that dude got me all pumped on the.
Man, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. He's working his ass off out there, man.
Man, is he not?
Absolutely.
Man? And, he's gonna, turn this thing into something amazing. I feel it. It's already
exciting.
getting that build up. It's great. Yeah. And Nebraska is kind of a, it's kind of like a central place, in a way. So
absolutely.
But Nebraska is definitely leading the way in a lot of veteran ran things I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's gonna be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. I know there's other people are looking forward to it though as well. So
hell yeah, getting to meet everybody. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, there's gonna be some great bands, some great people playing that night too.
Yeah, the lineup looks awesome. I've also, if anybody's not watching or you haven't had a chance to download the Gun Room Radio station, they're playing all the veteran music on there.
Donald, good old Donald Dunn, man.
He's a good dude. Go vote for Scotty. And so,
there we go. 20. Now we're talking real shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go vote for Scotty on the Gun Room Radio.
I know.
Let's put him up on the top, man.
I know. I was number 2 last week, so we need to get me back.
We got to get that number 1 spot.
I know. To get me back on top. That's awesome.
All right, brother. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you wanna say before we get off?
Yeah. If you're waiting to do something, don't do it. If anything, if getting shot 10 times and almost dying has taught me anything, is that life is very short and it can be taken away very quickly. So if you're waiting for something, don't. Just do it, man. At the end of the day, what do you have to lose? And take care of yourself. Be nice to people so they be nice to you. And yeah, man, take care of yourself. Take care of your buddies as well. It's important. It's important that we stay together in this. At the end of the day, man, we're all struggling. We're all having a hard time. So take care of each other.
Hell yeah, man. I love that message. And Scotty, I really appreciate you, brother. For me, this is what a hero looks like.
Thank you, man.
Scotty, I can't appreciate you, what you've done for this country and what you're doing for our community, in the veteran community as well.
Yeah.
You're doing probably more than you even know. And but I can't tell you how much I love your music, and I can't wait to see you be that big chart name out there, bro.
Oh man, thank you. That would be incredible, honestly. If anything, is just to kind of get my story out there to more people so that they can understand that you can still live your dreams even at 35 years old and broken, and you can still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love your story. I love your message. Once again, Scotty, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Just hold tight, and I'll be right back there with you in a second.
Cool.
All right, brother.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, bro. All right, friends and fam, this is going to wrap up another great episode. Scotty is a great guy. If you guys get an opportunity, go check him out, ScottyHastingMusic.com. Go watch his videos, like it, share it out there. And if you're, part of the Gunroom Radio, go vote for him. Let's get him on that top #1 spot. But until next time, guys.